bodies, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. There's far too much to cover in this brief conversation, so if the listener does have a concern, how do they get hold of you?
Okay, so we're still operational at the moment. That's obviously the main thing to suggest.
Mm-hmm.
We do have a website. That's www.ukecc.net. Our telephone number is 01268 886690. Feel free to give us a call, send us an email. We'll try our best to answer what we can with what we know, but also, try and provide you with some advice on your problem if, maybe you have put foul of what you believe to be a scam, or are uncertain about whether maybe booking a holiday or a car hire or something like that is going to be protected.
Okay, Adam, thank you for your advice.
Good morning, sir.
Hi, I'm checking in for my flight.
Lovely. Business or pleasure?
Holiday.
And where will you be staying?
With my parents, they live over there.
Lovely. Travel insurance?
Oh, no thanks.
Have you got travel insurance?
No.
Checked to see if you need any vaccinations?
No.
Checked out the local laws?
No, look. Why do I need to know all this? I'm just staying with my parents.
Is either of your parents A local lawyer, or the chief of police, B, fabulously wealthy, C, the owner of a private plane with its own fully trained medical staff, or D, none of the above?
D?
Lovely. Are you a superhero and in fact immortal?
Things can go wrong on holiday abroad, even if you're staying with family. So check it out before you check in. Find out more at gov.uk/know-before-you-go.
You can keep up to date with travel news and leave me a message at facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. The UK ECC details will be at facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. If you're listening, you may think, oh no, John's got another cold. Why is he so weak? It's not a cold, it's hay fever. It's got me really bad today, so I apologise for the slight weirdness in my voice. You never know, it might make me sound a bit more interesting. Let's hope so, anyway. As I mentioned, travel news is still to come with the story of that car park, which didn't turn out to be what it said it was going to be. But I'm going to continue now with my travel tips. As I said at the beginning, there's loads of tips in the media at the minute about how to make the most of your travel. Some are good, some are lousy. I've got an awful lot in my book, The Travel Researcher's Guide, which you can find in Kindle version at Amazon, or you can find a hardback at lulu.com, or you can visit my blog, johnguinn.me, and you can get all the information for free, whichever way you want to do it. But there's loads of blogs, there's loads of tips there. But here's a few others I've found since I've written the book, and they're obviously going to be in the second edition. So I left off with about getting travel insurance, which is always a given. The next one is to tell your bank and credit card providers that you're travelling so your cards aren't blocked. If you don't do this, it can be very, very expensive to make a phone call back to the UK to get your cards activated again in the country where you are. So do it ahead of time. It saves a lot of expense and embarrassment when you can't buy the stuff you want in the shop. Check the voltage of where you're going. Is your equipment going to work? I don't have a hairdryer, obviously, because no hair. But if you've got a UK hairdryer, it may not be able to work at 110 volts. It will just be like somebody whispering in your ear and not getting your hair dry at all. And if your hair goes frizzy when you're in a humid atmosphere, well, you need your hairdryer to work. So check the voltages. Get the right adapter for when you go. Something people don't think about when it comes to adapters, is it actually going to be rated high enough to operate the things you want to use with the adapter? Don't go for the cheap and cheerful ones because it may get a bit hot. Could even melt when you plug your hairdryer in. Take a multi-way trailing socket as well, so you only have to have one adapter, but you can plug 4 or 6 things in at the same time. But again, make sure that your adapter can handle having 6 things plugged in. Make sure you have local currency on you in small bills for tipping. And also ensure that you know what the rates are when you go shopping. And when you are shopping or eating out and you're paying by a credit card or debit card, never let the shop or restaurant set the exchange rate as a service to you. So the bill comes to you in pounds and you have an idea what it's going to cost you. Unfortunately, you can't trust the shop or restaurant to set the rate which matches that which you're going to get from your bank. So it could end up costing you more. When it comes to exchange rates on your cards, let the bank or credit card providers sort it out. Check your mobile phone coverage and the bills, especially the cost of calls. I was less than happy to find out when I was in Mexico a couple of years ago that I got charged £3 for not answering the phone. I thought, I don't recognise the number, it's going to be a sales call, I won't answer it. And I got charged anyway. Very unhappy. Make sure you know what your rules, the bills are like on your phone when you go away. If you need to use the internet, look for cheap or free zones before you leave home so you can search for it at home so you can know where you're going to go. With your mobile phone, always turn the data roaming off unless you're going to the EU where it's been discounted. But it'd be cheaper to turn it off and just use Wi-Fi. But if you do use public Wi-Fi networks, do remember they're not secure. So don't go crazy doing lots of online banking. Just do what you have to do. And don't use a free network to do quite sensitive stuff. Do have a list of things you want to see and do when you get there. I mean, spontaneity is all well and good, but if it's a once in a lifetime trip to a country, you don't want to miss out on some of the best stuff. So have a list before you go of what you want to see and do to make sure you actually do that while you're out there. Pack some clothes into your hand luggage, just in case your suitcase goes astray while you're travelling. At least you're going to have a change of clothes for a day or two. So if you've got it in your hand luggage, do that. My wife and I, we mix the suitcases up so we don't have his and hers. So if one case goes missing, at least we both have something to wear. But whatever works for you. Another great tip is always get business cards from the hotel, especially if you're in a country that doesn't speak your language or you don't speak the language of the country you're in. Because when you're out and about and you need to get back, you can just give the business card to the taxi driver and he knows where to take you. Saves a lot of stressing and faffing about. In a few moments, I'll start talking about my travel tips for your own personal safety. Checking it out before you check in on the John Guinn Travel Show on ukhealthradio.com. Still to come, travel news, including the story about Gatwick parking. But some more travel tips. Before I get onto the depressing bit about personal safety, here's a few more general ones. Firstly, always use your own headphones on the plane. The airline ones would have been cleaned, but they would have been cleaned as cheaply as possible. And this quickness and cheapness of cleaning is the same reason you should probably avoid airline tea and coffee. I mean, when was the last time the equipment was cleaned properly? Yuck. This one's very important. Do take the old flight tags off your suitcase. Don't keep them on there because that's just going to confuse the scanners on the luggage system and your case is going to end up going somewhere different to where you are. So once you get off the plane, take the tags off when you've got your suitcase, or when you get to the hotel room, take the tags off. When you get home, take the tags off. Can you get this one? Take the tags off. When you're in the hotel or wherever you want to stay, be kind to the employees. It doesn't cost anything and it can be useful if you need something, such as an upgrade or more food, for instance. Or perhaps freshly cooked food. Just remember how you would react if somebody was rude to you and then they came to you to ask for something. Just be nice. And being nice means don't leave your room in a mess. I mean, the cleaners are hard working and they have a timetable to clean all the rooms. And having to sort out any extra mess you've left lying around, it's going to slow them down and it means they're not going to do as good a job as what they would have done had you kept the place tidy. So don't leave the room in a tip. Leave it as tidy and as clean as you can so the cleaner can concentrate on the important cleaning jobs. When talking of which, stay clear of drinking glasses in your hotel because they've been found to be the grimiest objects in the room. But again, if your room's clean and tidy, maybe your glasses will get proper clean. Apparently the best time to stay in a hotel is Sunday, or to check into a hotel is Sunday. But it has to be a Sunday early in the month. The reason given for this is most short breakers are on their way home, or holidaymakers are on their way home, and business people haven't arrived yet. So if you're checking in early on a Sunday, beginning of the month, you have a wider range of rooms to be offered before you stick your stuff in the room. And if you do want a free upgrade, ask your travel agent to arrange it for you. What do you mean you've not used a travel agent? Why would you not use a travel agent? Hopefully the agent or the agent's company have a great relationship with the hotel or the hotel chain, and their mountains can be moved. If you booked online, then forget it. You're not going to get anything for free. Although special occasions might get you an upgrade, but you have to be subtle. Ask the receptionist what somebody would do in the area if it is their birthday or if it's their wedding anniversary. But when you do book the hotel, do mention it. If it doesn't work this time, your birthday or anniversary will be put on the hotel's computer system and you'll get reminders coming through, and there may be 1 or 2 special offers your way. So even if you don't get your upgrade, you may get a cheap per room rate next time, well, in a year's time. So do mention it when you book. I did say about personal safety, you can go over the top, but here's 1 or 2 things that I've found over the years which you might find useful. And the most scary one, I think, is your suitcase. You zipped it up, you put a padlock on to keep the zips closed. Do you know what? Doesn't mean a thing. Go on a YouTube search for suitcase, zip, pen, and you could be quite upset from what you see. It is so easy to get the zip to open using a ballpoint pen. You can get in the suitcase and then you can put the suitcase back, and nobody will ever know you've been in there until you've opened the suitcase and you found that you've got items missing. It's quick and easy. Have a look on YouTube. Very scary. Think about getting a more secure suitcase. Remember, zips are not secure even with a padlock. There is a guy called Drew Dreyer. He's a former Marine and CIA operative, and he has a list of things you should do when you get to your hotel room. It's sofrep.com. And here are 1 or 2 pointers I picked up from various other people who have written about this particular guy. And the first thing he recommends is you make a copy of the fire escape plan, which you can find on the back of the door. And then have a look at it. See if it actually works. Check to see if any of the doors are blocked or locked. I mean, there's no point finding out you can't get out when there is a fire. So have a plan, have the plan with you so you know your way around, and just do a dry run to see if you can get through. If you've got kids, you may find that the fire escape route for you with your children is really dangerous, and you can ask them to be moved to a different room. Don't stay on the ground floor or the top floor. Why the top floor? I'll tell you in a moment. But the ground floor, you probably guess, is because it's easy accessible to intruders. But if you're on the top floor, you have nowhere to go if somebody's coming to get you. At least if you're below the top floor, you can go up or down. It's going to be very difficult to get past the person if they know the only way you can go is down. And the first or second, which they call European floors, allow access for most of the third world country emergency vehicles. So this is another reason not to stay too high up, because there are travel writers who will not stay on a floor or a floor above the floor that is the higher than the local fire brigade's tallest ladder. Think about it. You want to be rescued, people are going to have to be able to reach you. Too high up, the ladder's not going to make it, and you have to try and get through the stairs. So that's one for you to think about next time you look at these wonderful high-rise hotels with wonderful views. And this Dyer guy says, always leave the do not disturb sign on the door, even if you're not there. Well, okay. You should always act as though the room is bugged, so keep the radio or TV turned on at volume at low level at all times, so people can't record your conversation, and keep it on while you're out so they don't know that you're not there. And it also says when you're not in the room, make sure you always leave a light on too. But that's not very green, is it? Always have the curtains and blinds closed so nobody can see if you're in or out. For emergencies, make sure you have a torch next to the bed and make sure it's within easy reach. Another safety one is put a motion alarm on the doorknob. They're quite easy to pick up, £10-20. You put it on the doorknob, anybody who tries the door, the alarm goes off, you're awake, you've got a head start. And also, this is the final one, have a small bug-out bag packed with must-have items such as money, ID, passport, in case of an emergency departure. So if you need to get out in the middle of the night, you don't have to worry about faffing about with a safe. It's there ready for you in a little holdall to get out as soon as possible. If you think I'm going over the top with these, do let me know, facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. If you've used something like this and it's actually saved you or helped you in an emergency, again, facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. share your experiences. That'd be great to find out what happened to you. Not to be nosy. Hopefully you're all okay. Nothing big happened. But it'd be good to see how people